Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have part 6 of an 8-part minor guardianship case consisting of 16 hearings, including 2 trials, the second of which is 4 days long. At the start of this case, the paternal grandparents already have physical custody of the child because Dad left his daughter with them after they kicked him out of their house for not taking care of her or following their rules. But this was not a court-ordered guardianship, so when Dad showed up at their house after 6 months of no contact and wanted the child back, his parents panicked and filed for a full legal guardianship. Dad is fighting the guardianship tooth and nail, claiming he's finally ready to be a good parent. The guardians claim that they have never kept their son from seeing his daughter, and they want him to take care of her, but they also want to make sure that he has the skills and resources necessary to do that first. They claim that Dad has always been a lazy and neglectful parent who has pushed off the care of his child onto the women in his life, and they're extremely worried about just handing the child back over to him because Dad, who is 23, currently lives with his 52-year-old girlfriend and her offender son, who isn't supposed to be around children. Are Dad's claims that he has a plan to keep the child safe and healthy going to convince a judge? Let's find out. This case will be broken into 8 different 3-hour videos, so make sure you watch all 8 parts to see the full story.
Okay, Mr. Adagnosto, if you'd like to call your first witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call, let's see, Tana Hyvely.
I see her in the waiting room, so I'll bring her in. Okay, looks like I'm not sure if Miss Hyvely, looks like she's unmuted, and it looks like we just lost her. Mr. Agnosto, do you know if she's with somebody that could give her a hand?
I don't. My staff can answer that question.
Yeah, maybe we could proceed. It sounds like there's just a quick little setting she needs to flip on and allowing access to the Zoom. Maybe you could call a different witness, and then maybe your staff could just briefly work with her, and then we could return to her.
Okay. Let me go talk to my staff for just a sec. I'll be right back.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Your Honor. Then I would call Dallas Bussey.
Okay, I'll bring him in from the waiting room. Okay, Mr. Bussey, can you hear me? This is Judge Evans.
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. You've been called as a witness by Mr. Adagnosto, and just want to make sure you're in a position to testify. Are you driving?
My fiance is driving. I'm in the passenger. That way I can talk.
Perfect.
We're going to be pulling over here in a second. That way, signal doesn't go out or anything. But I can answer any questions if you guys want to get.
Great. I'd like to administer the oath of witness to you. So if you'd please raise your right hand, I'll administer that oath.
Of course. Give me a second so I can put your phone where you can see. Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Will you please state your full name and spell your last name?
Dallas Garrett Bussey, B-U-S-S-E.
Thanks, Mr. Bussey. I just want to double check. We had a bit of delay and pause in hearing your verbal response, and I'm just curious where you are in relationship to maybe cell towers, if you're in a well-populated area, or maybe a more rural area. Can you give me an indication? Because I need to have good contact, a good connection with.
Yeah, I'm about to pull over in what looks like Vancouver. I'm actually pulling off the highway right now, so like here in probably a minute or two, I'll be in a safe spot where we'll have a good connection.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Mr. Agnosto, go ahead, please.
Mr. Bussey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can you, I guess we'll start with your name, spell your last name.
Dallas Garrett Bussey, B-U-S-S-E.
All right. And where do you reside?
I live in Longview, Washington.
at what address?
340 24th Avenue, Longview,
All right,
Washington, 9632.
all right. Do you know Jaden Ludwig?
Yes, I've known Jaden Ludwig since I was in high school.
Okay. And have you had, opportunities to be around Mr. Ludwig?
Yes, I have many. Me and Jaden are pretty much best friends.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to see him with his daughter in this action?
Yes.
Under what circumstances have you seen him with his daughter?
Me and Jaden's kids are around the same age, so our daughters play together. So Jaden, on the weekends when he has his visits with Jalen, occasionally comes over to my house to have the visit. And then other times before that, we've hung out a couple times when we were younger, before I had my daughter.
Okay. Can you describe the relationship that Jalen and Jaden have?
Very, very loving and caring.
Right? Does she appear to respond to him?
Yes.
How so?
With love and kindness. I've never seen Jalen throw a fit. She always listens. She's always behaving, and she's always right next to her dad. Whenever she comes in, she'll come in, and because Jalen is shy, she'll kind of hide behind her dad. So you can tell they're very close.
Okay. And what kind of things do they do while they're at your house?
Sometimes they'll watch a kid show for like 10 minutes, and that'll be like Mickey Mouse or something educational. Other times they'll actually go do activities. Like, for example, one of me and Jaden's favorite things to do is we'll set up the sprinkler or a pool in the backyard, and the kids will go and play in that. I know Jaden likes to take Jalen to the park all the time and stuff. He's a pretty active dad.
Okay. And you indicated that you've known him since when?
Since freshman or sophomore year of when I was in high school, and I was from the class of 2018, so that'd be 20. I've known Jaden since 2015, 2016.
Okay. Can you describe his demeanor, his character to the court?
Jaden is the most gentle person I have ever known. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's not one of those that like gets angry. Best way I could describe it is just being the most gentle person I know.
You knew him in high school at Mark Morris, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and did you see him at his home with his father, around his family?
No, when we were younger, Jaden didn't really have anyone come to his house, to my understanding, but I've seen his dad pick him up before, and I've also seen Jaden sent to school with liar written on his head.
So tell the court about that. What did you observe?
Well, one of the rare times that I've seen Kai pick up Jaden, when he pulls up, the first thing he says is, after he rolls down the window, he looks at Jaden. He says, "Get the fuck in the car." And well, get the F in the car, your honor.
I'm sorry, when did this occur?
It's somewhere in 2016. I'm trying to remember an exact date. You can imagine it's been so long, it's hard to remember the exact day. But I do remember in 2016 was when he got sent to school with liar written on his forehead. I do remember that. I wish I could remember the date on it.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. It sounds like somebody else is feeding information. I can hear somebody whispering and see Dallas's eyes moving to that person.
Mr. Bussey, who's in the car with
No,
you?
my fiance is over here, and she was actually just taking care of a phone call. Someone tried calling. She was letting me know. If you guys would like, I could step outside of the car if that would make them more comfortable.
Is your audio being fed to earpieces or is it on the car
No,
system?
no, it's in earbuds.
Okay.
Earbuds.
Okay, so it's only through the earbuds. So any person in close proximity can or cannot hear what's being said.
Cannot hear what's being said. The only thing she can hear is what I'm saying.
Okay. I guess one of two ways of approaching this, if you could ask your fiance to not have any verbal communication with others that we could pick up and hear, or you could step outside if it's quiet outside. I'd prefer that you stay inside the car because it's probably going to be quieter.
Yeah. Yeah, honey, you need to. I didn't say. No, I know, but they can hear you when you try talking to me. So that'd be quiet for the rest of this call. I didn't say. I know, but can you just do that for me? All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. Agnostic.
All right. When Jaden has come over with Jaylyn, can you describe Jaylyn? Is she appropriately dressed, fed, that type of thing?
Oh yeah, she comes well dressed and well fed. I mean, Jaylyn always has like fruit, vegetable food, and stuff like that. Jaden's daughter eats healthier than my daughter. That's how I describe it. Always well dressed. You know, they never come ill prepared. They always got food and snacks for Jaylyn and toys and stuff to keep her entertained. And I know that her own little tablet for if she wants to watch shows or something. And yeah, she's pretty happy kid. Lucky to have Jaden as a father.
Can you describe his attentiveness to her?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, can you describe Jaden's attentiveness to Jaylyn?
Oh, he is with Jaylyn 24/7 and watching her 24/7. They're basically inseparable.
Okay. Now, you said there were a couple, so he came to school and had liar written on his forehead. You recall that?
Yes.
All right. And then you said, was it just one occasion where his dad was aggressive with him or abusive?
Just the closest thing I find to aggressive abusive. I mean, besides liar being written on his forehead the day that he picked him up, and first thing he says when he rolls down the window is "Get the fuck in the car."
All right.
Sorry, get the F in the car.
So when you say he picked him up, what do you?
Picked him up in a vehicle from school.
Okay. All right, I get it. Got it. Okay. And you and he were at Mark Morris High School together?
That's correct.
All right. Did he complete Mark Morris?
As far as I'm aware, I mean, I'm a dropout, so.
Oh, okay.
But as
You
far as I'm
know-
aware, I believe he did graduate.
You're unaware of him traveling to Oregon?
When I knew after he turned 18, he went to Oregon, I believe.
Okay. All right. You have, any concerns with him around his daughter, Jalen?
Of concerns of Jaden?
Right.
No, I have no concerns of Jaden around his daughter at all. Like I said, Jalen is lucky to have a father like Jaden. There's a lot of kids out there who wish they could have that kind of a dad.
Now, they have brought up during this trial, basically marijuana usage. Are you aware if Jaden uses marijuana?
He does not use marijuana around Rosalie. And I mean, I have smoked with Jaden when we were younger, but that was when he didn't have Jalen with him. I didn't have my daughter with me. He came to visit me one day when I lived in Owaco, and that's about the only time I've really seen him smoking. Whenever we hang out with the kids, he doesn't smoke. So
I don't think I have any other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bussey, Ms. Winkles may have some questions for you.
I do.
that's fine.
Mr. Bussey, how many times has Jaden taken the child to your house since October of 2022?
Since October of 2022, that'd be Jalen's came down to my house in Owaco one time, and that was in 2022. And then his recent visits, his weekend visits, once that all started, he's been coming to my house pretty much every other weekend. He's been there for 4 visits now, as in the 2-day visits. So he's been there 2 weekends since I moved back to Longview, and that was just 2 months ago.
Okay.
As of today, it'll be 2 months ago that I moved back.
And is he alone when he comes with the child? Is it just him and the child?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so
when I lived in Owaco, when he came and visited me when I lived there, that was the one time where I seen Michelle with him.
okay. How far is Owaco from Longview?
I'd say 8-hour, 30-minute drive. It's Long Beach area, if you know where that is.
Okay. And was he there by any chance on July 1st of 2022?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up his Google. So we have this thing, it's called it's essentially a Google takeout, which follows you around and shows your location.
Right.
And you live on it's 24th Avenue in Longview, correct? What was
Yeah,
it?
24th Avenue is where 24th Avenue.
Okay. So on 20th Avenue, according to his raw location.
24th.
Mm-hmm.
24th.
Yeah. 24th Avenue, Longview, Washington, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Was he there on July 1st, 2023, from 6:29 p.m. until 9:32 p.m.?
I think he was. I didn't think his visit was on the 1st. I thought he came down more like the 8th or something. You're talking about July 1st of 2022 or
2023.
2023.
And was he also there from 12:01 p.m. until 5:43 p.m. on July 1st, 2023? Okay.
Yeah, that's how he leaves at around 5:30 to 5:40.
Okay, so between that, so I have 2 separate entries in here, and one of which it appears to cut it open. By any chance, do you live by 420 Holiday, which is a marijuana shop?
That would be over kind of down to Longview, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Now, do you remember on that July 1st visit Mr. Ludwig leaving your residence at 1:52 p.m. To go purchase marijuana?
I do not remember him leaving to purchase marijuana.
Okay, has he ever left his child there with you to watch the child while he went off to run an errand?
One time, our last visit, I watched Jalen so he could get pizza.
Okay,
And I remember he went to Domino's that day. His grandmother bought it for him.
was that, so what month was that?
That would be, it'd be last month because it was his most recent visit, or not most recent, but most recent at my house. So it'd be 2 weekends ago.
Mr. Bussey, I just want to I apologize for interrupting, but I heard additional voices in the car. Is there anybody else in the car?
No, her phone went off. My fiance's in the car. I think I'm gonna ask her to step outside for a minute, though, honey, if you could.
Okay, I didn't say anything, but absolutely.
Okay, I appreciate the. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, that's perfect. It's perfectly fine. And forgive me for taking a minute to remember the dates. I should let the court know I have a traumatic brain injury. So sometimes remembering stuff can be a little bit hard. I don't lose memory, just have a hard time remembering. So I'd say it'd be about, a week or two, probably. A week or two ago.
Okay, and were you aware that Mr. Ludwig was ordered by the court to be alone with the child in order to determine and to enhance his own parental functions? Were you aware that he was supposed to be alone with the child?
I'm going to object. That mischaracterizes the court's rulings.
So the question as presented, he can answer whether it's an accurate portrayal. I think the question stands. He can answer it overall. So, Mr. Bussey, if you know the answer to that question, you can answer.
Honestly, you guys glitched out for a second. If everything could be repeated, it would be much appreciated.
Yes, were you aware that Mr. Ludwig was ordered by the court to be alone with the child and have no third parties present?
No, I was not.
Okay. And when they were over at your house, it sounds like they were over for a significant amount of time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when adults were present there?
That would be me and my fiance when she's not working, and Jaden.
Okay. And then you have other children, correct?
Yes.
Do you play video games by any chance, Mr. Bussey?
Rarely.
Do you still smoke marijuana?
Rarely. I have my kid a lot, and not only that, I do a lot. So. Oh.
Okay. And you stated that he pretty much comes over there all the time. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say all the time, but like once Jaden got supervised visit for his weekends, that's when he started coming over more, if that makes sense.
Okay. I have no further questions, John.
Okay, redirect Mr. Anagnostou.
No, Your Honor, nothing.
Okay, very good. Mr. Bussey, thank you very much. I appreciate your input and time. You're free to stay and listen to the proceedings. I just ask that you turn your video feed and your microphone off. Otherwise, you're free to go also.
Okay, and if anyone does need to ask me more questions, they can get a hold of me through Jaden's attorney.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, Mr.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Am I dismissed?
Yep, you're free to go.
I was wondering if we would try to have Tana Hively testify again.
You bet. You bet. We'll bring her in. All right, welcome, Miss Hively. This is Judge Evans.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. Looks like everything's good.
Oh, good. I get real nervous.
Yeah, you're fine. You've been called as a witness, and so I'd like to administer the oath of a witness to you. If you'd raise your right hand, please, I'll administer that oath.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm, under the penalty of perjury, that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
So help me God and on his word.
Thank you. Will you please state your full name and spell your last name?
Hannah Ray Hively, Hiveley.
Thank you. We'll turn the time to Mr. Anagnostou, please.
Okay.
Ms. Hively, I'm Kurt Anagnostou. I am Jaden's attorney,
Yes.
and you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Where do you reside?
I reside in Newport in an apartment complex.
Okay. And do you know Jaden Ludwig?
Yes, I have known him for 6 years.
Okay. How is it that you came to know him?
He ran away from his father's home and came down to Newport, or Toledo, actually. I was living in Toledo at the time, just a couple of houses down from his grandmother. And her and I were friends and had just met each other approximately a year before. And that's how I met him.
Okay, so you were living next to his grandmother, and that would be Terry Ludwig.
Teresa Ludwig.
Teresa Ludwig. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how is it that you came to know him? You said he had ran away from his father?
Yes.
And
He ran away from Kai and Kelly, and he was a minor, and they were going to have, the police said we have to send him back.
I'm
And
going to
Mrs.
object, Your
Father,
Honor, to hearsay.
Sustained as to what the police officer told Ms. Hively.
yeah, you don't get to say what the police officer said, but
Oh, okay.
go ahead. Jaden is down here, and where was he residing?
With Teresa and Bill, his grandparents.
Okay, and that was you said a couple houses down from where you live.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And how often did you see him while he was living there?
All the time.
Okay.
I hired him to mow my yard. I lived in a little house, well, not so little, but with a big yard, and I'm handicapped, and he mowed my yard and weeded and did whatever I asked him to do.
Okay. Can you describe to the court, Jaden's personality, his demeanor?
He's kind of a quiet kid. I mean, I would have to kind of coax him out on, I'd ask, I'm Snoopy, I ask questions, and, I would wait for an answer. And pretty soon he got to know me and trust me. And, I was just the older lady down the street that he trusted me. And so we talked a lot.
Okay. Do you know if he was in high school at that time?
They enrolled him in high school. Bill and Teresa enrolled him in high school as soon as they had legal permission to keep him down here in Newport, Toledo.
All right. And do you know if he graduated from high school?
He did.
Okay. Did you go to his graduation?
I could not. I was in the hospital.
All right. Well, sorry to hear about that.
Yes.
At some point, Did you become aware that he had a daughter?
Oh, yes.
How did you become aware of that?
He told me that his girlfriend had gotten pregnant,
Okay.
and they were split up, and he was considering and wanting to get custody of the unborn child at that time. And he was talking it over, he was thinking it over, he wanted to. And he talked to me a lot about options, what you could and couldn't do. And I've been through a lot. I had 15 aunts and uncles, and I was adopted at birth. And so I have a lot of family experience.
All right. At some point, did he get custody of Jalen?
Yes, he did. We had talked over all of his options, including an open adoption. Jalen has 4 or 5 brothers and sisters, and they are all adopted out.
Oh, this is with the mother?
Yeah. Well, no, the mother can't be around children.
Right.
They've been adopted out to another woman who lives in Albany, Oregon.
No, I understand that, but these other children are not Jaden's children.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just Jalen.
Okay. And so go ahead. What's the next thing you know with regards to Jaden and Jalen?
Because that I was adopted, and he was young, I was telling him that open adoption is a wonderful, wonderful way to go. And he said, no, I want my baby. I want to raise my baby. I may be young, but I know that that's what I want.
Okay, so at some point, did he get Jalen?
He did. She was 5 months old. I don't know. There's a picture. My Google picture is a picture of Jalen that I took when she was 5 or 6 months old.
Okay.
And
that's the picture you signed in here with?
right. That's a picture of Jalen.
Okay. So what happened after he got custody of Jalen?
He brought her home to Teresa and Bill's.
All right.
And
did you see him with Jalen?
Almost daily.
All right.
Almost daily. I lived 2 houses down the hill from Teresa, and 2 houses around the corner from me was the park. And he knew that he liked me, and he trusted me, and he knew I loved that little baby. Old ladies love little babies. And he stopped every day. I would be up and sitting on the porch, and he would come and stop, and he left drink and food, cups of fruit and applesauce and different things, so there was always something available that he might have forgot when he left the house. And I was so happy to see them both.
So describe his attentiveness to Jalen.
He was tickled pink with that little girl. She was just learning to stand up when she would crawl up his knees and hold on to his knees. She was standing, but not quite taking off running. And she dada and giggled and laughed. And after a few months, we went through an episode of diaper rash, and he came down and showed me and said, what do I do? And I told him the same thing my grandmother told me. My daughter got diaper rash when she was 6 months old. And you wash them really good, you keep them really dry, and sunshine. And it was summer. We would spread a blanket out in the front yard, and it was nice and sunny, and we would strip her down, and she just thought that was all kinds of fun. And we all sat in the yard and played with the baby. You know, he enjoyed that baby. When there was one incident, well, not one, he did it over and over. My bed was in the living room because, like I said, I'm quite handicapped. And there was dog steps for my little dachshund to get up to my twin bed. The baby thought that was just the cat's meow, and she would crawl up those 4 steps, and he would have his arms out and right behind her, and she would get to the top, and then she would laugh and giggle and stand up and throw herself into Papa's arms. And the whole thing was fun and games, you know. He was fine with her. I mean, sometimes I would remind him it's time to change the diaper, but you know, my husband never changed a diaper, but he played with my baby, and he played with his daughter, and he contributed in many, many ways. So, and I saw Jaden doing the same thing.
Did you see him changing diapers?
Absolutely.
All right. There's been allegations that he, is not changing them. What was your experience with?
But that was not my experience at all. But I don't know how he was with other people, but he checked the baby, and if she was wet, he took her out of the stroller and changed her diaper on my bed, and then she was happy and she got a juice, and you know, we went back to visiting, and she got to crawl. I had a real nice, fairly new carpeting, and she got to crawl all over the carpet. And my dachshund actually adored that baby. So that was pretty cute watching them play together. But Jaden was right there.
Okay. How long did that go on?
4 to 5 months. I'm not 100% on that. I know that I was there for the baby's first birthday, which was in October, because my birthday is in October.
Okay.
And so, and then his girlfriend, Caitlin, whom I will be careful not to say negative things about, it's not my place. It made him miserable. She was very demanding, very manipulative. She told me one day, I'm going to get that baby.
Your Honor, I'm going to object hearsay.
Sustained.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, so you were there for Jalen's first birthday. How did that go?
Yes. Funny. It was in the park, you know. Luckily, a sunshiny day on the coast, which is almost more than could be hoped for. And
Right.
ice cream and cake and making messes, and you know, a typical 1-year-old's birthday.
All right. And again, describe what Jaden was doing during the birthday party with regards to Jaylin.
Watching over her, making sure she was not getting off the bench. He took her to go play on the swings a little bit, and then but mostly it was about family, Grandma and Grandpa were there, great grandma and grandpa to Jaylin, and it was just a family picnic that happened to be a child's first birthday. Jaden was actively involved.
Okay. And then, do you know, at some point he moved away with Jaylin?
Yes.
Do you know how old she was, or when the last time was you saw her?
They left right before Christmas because he texted me a picture of Jaylin in her new Christmas outfit.
Right.
And then I have not gotten to see her since then.
When you saw Jaden with Jaylin, was he appropriately dressed in clean clothes and that kind of stuff, or?
Well, yeah. I mean,
well, there's allegations that he didn't shower after he left and went up to Spokane.
I certainly never saw that.
Would he regularly check Jaylin's diaper?
Yes.
All right. And what would he do if it was soiled?
He would change her. And I would remind him, he had those wipes that you buy that have some kind of scented cleaner on them. And I said, well, that's nice, Jaden. They work, but I think a warm, clean wash rag is better for them. I guess I'm old fashioned.
Do you know what his experience was changing diapers, those type of things prior to this?
I don't think he had any more experience than I did when my daughter was born. I was an only child, and my grandmother taught me, this is back in the days of cloth diapers and safety pins. I had to be taught how to fold them and how to pin them, etc. And he got shown, I know, by his grandma Teresa, and I watched him so that he was doing it right. And I only watched him maybe twice, and then I went, he's got that covered.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. Thank you.
Okay.
And then, Ms.
The other
Ively,
attorney, yeah.
sorry, go ahead, Mr. Agnostic.
I was just gonna say the other attorney may have some questions for you.
Okay.
I do. You mentioned that Jaylin was saying dada. Was Jaylin asking for grandma or grandpa, or was she asking for anybody else other than dada?
No. And the other thing, when she was out on the blanket, bare butt, getting rid of the diaper rash, Jaden would turn on the music in his car and roll down the windows and she would, rock back and forth and smile and giggle. She was hearing fine,
Okay.
and she was talking.
She was speaking as well.
Well, not much, not at 6 months, 7 months, but she knew Dada.
Okay. And you mentioned that that you guys were feeding her fruits and applesauce, and you saw Mr. Ludwig doing that. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Is it appropriate for a 3 to 7 month old to be eating fruit? Do you know, did she seem awfully small to be having fruit at that age?
I didn't think so. She
And
also had bottles.
okay. And do you remember how long they were at Grandma's house before they moved?
I don't think I can give an exact time. It was from mid-summer to right before Christmas.
Okay.
I don't know.
Would it be fair to say that the child only lived there for 4.5 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that the child was about 5 months, 6 months old when she got there, a little over that, and then a year and they were gone? Is that about fair?
As far as I know.
Okay. Now you stated that that he was doing my apologies. I got 4.5 months wrong. It was 3.5 months of them living at Grandma's house seemed more reasonable.
Honey, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So, but you had a very limited amount of time to see him with the child, correct?
Well, every day, sometimes twice a day. So I think I saw.
Okay. But the time period was only when he was living with his grandmother, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why he stopped living with his grandmother?
They decided that the job situation would be better in Washington. He was working at Taco Bell, as was Caitlin, and he really hated that job. He could not. There's no real options available in Newport for a young man. I was thrilled when I found out he loves his job.
Okay. And when he was there for the 3, and we can ask him more about the time period. When he was there for the few months he was, and you say you saw him every day, about how many hours would he spend with you around the child?
2 to 3, and sometimes a couple times a day, sometimes not. And then he would head down to the park with the stroller, and on his way back, he had to stop at Grandma Tana's place, or she would be upset.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect.
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hively, thank you very much for your time and input. You are welcome to stay on the Zoom call, but if you could just make sure you're muted and your video is off. Otherwise, you can shut off your phone and leave the Zoom call. But thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, Mr. Agnostia, your next witness, please.
We would call Teresa Ludwig.
All right, let me bring her in. All right, Ms. Ludwig, good afternoon. This is Judge Evans. Can you hear me okay? Ms. Ludwig, can you hear me? Oh, looks like it's connecting.
Hello.
Oh, good afternoon, Ms. Ludwig. Can you hear me? This is Judge
Hi.
Evans.
Yes.
Okay, great. You've been called as a witness by Mr. Anagnostou, so I'd like to administer the oath of witness when you're Are you
Yeah,
headed?
I'm wondering where am I gonna sit?
Okay, let's let you get settled and then I'll
Okay,
administer the oath.
I'm sitting.
Okay, great. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God, it is, will be the truth. Thank you.
Will you please state your full name and spell your last name?
My full name is Teresa Rose Ludwig, Ludwig.
Thank you, Mr. Anagnostou.
Ms. Ludwig, where do you reside?
Well, right now we're staying in the house street. We have another house right next door. We went through and redone the house that I'm in now and replaced all the windows and you know, redid it. And I thought it'd be more comfortable here.
Okay, so you're residing at 115 Northwest 10th Avenue in
Toledo, Oregon.
Toledo, Oregon.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And how long have you lived there?
Well, I think Kai was in 3rd grade and he's probably 39 years, I'm guessing.
Okay.
That's a guess. I'm not that grand on dates.
You
Well, we
are-
didn't, we actually lived in 109 house also though.
Okay. You are the mother of Kai Ludwig, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Grandmother of Jaden Ludwig,
yes,
great grandmother of Jaylyn.
yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Did I lose you?
I'm sorry, what? You are on mute.
See, Ms. Ludwig, look, okay.
I
there we
got it. I don't know how I got to mute because I didn't touch my phone.
Okay. All right. You're aware that my client, Jaden Ludwig, is requesting return of his daughter, Jaylyn.
Yes.
Okay. And do you know how old Jaylyn is?
She turned 3 in October.
Last October. Okay. And were you around when Jaden got custody of Jaylyn?
Yes,
Okay.
I was actually.
All right. Let me back up. Was there a period of time that Kai Ludwig and his children resided with you?
Yes.
When was that?
Oh boy. I don't, I'm not good with dates right now, but it was after him and his second wife got divorced. Let's see. It might have been 10 or 11 years ago.
Okay. And where at what address did they reside in?
In the 115 house with me and Bill.
Okay. They were in the same house with you and your husband.
Yes, at the time that he needed a place to stay, he was in the same house.
Okay. There's been reference to another house that's on the lot.
Right. I have another house, but Kai lived here when he got divorced with Crystal. And when he left here, my front door was kicked off. He left a dog in the house that crapped all over everything. They took 2 truckloads of garbage out of the house, and I wasn't gonna let
I'm gonna object. I don't see the relevance of how he left.
Okay,
Sustained-
so
Hold on, Ms. Ludwig. When there's an objection made, I need to rule on that. So if we could just pause, the answer is non-responsive, sustained.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all
I
right.
get going. Sorry.
All right. Do you know how long Kai resided there with the children?
I'm gonna guess maybe 3 months.
Okay.
And then I was taking care of them, and he was coming home in the evening late, and I couldn't, for me and my job and to maintain my work, I couldn't fall asleep here, get up and go to my house next door and get right back to sleep. So the kids started staying at my house because of that.
Okay. So the kids, the children were with you. This is Jaden and his sister.
Yes.
And they started staying with you. Is that kind of full time?
Yeah, kind of sort of full time.
All right. And
Until he met Bobby.
until he met who?
Bobby, his second wife.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Now, at some point, he moved out and took his children with him.
Yes.
When was that?
I think Holly was, I think about 10 or 11 years ago,
Okay.
probably 10 years ago.
He moved where?
He went to Longview or Kelso. No, what is it called? Can't, it starts with a C. He moved in with Kelly Crape, actually.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the town.
All right. And did he have the children with him at that point?
When he made a full initial move, he did. Yes.
But what do you mean by that?
They seen each other for a while without having the kids up there.
Okay. And so where were the kids during that period of time? They stayed with you?
Oh yeah, they were with me.
Okay, all right. And then they got a place, I assume at some point, and moved. Do you know where?
They moved in with her in a small 2-bedroom apartment.
And-
Very small 2-bedroom apartment.
All right. And then at some point, did they move into the Longview area? You know?
Yes, they did. After they moved out of that small apartment, they moved into a 3-bedroom apartment in Longview.
Got it. Did you, during this period of time, did you maintain contact with Kai and the children?
As much as I could, yes.
All right. Can you describe the relationship between Kai and Jaden?
The relationship between Kai and Jaden hasn't really been that grand.
How so?
Well, Kai would say that he would try and get Jaden interested in something, and Jaden just wasn't interested in what Kai was interested in. And I kind of got frustrated because Well, he would call and tell me that Jaden wouldn't be interested in what he was interested in and to do anything. And I don't think that Kai did much with Jaden other than clean the garage or
Did you have occasions to observe Kai disciplining Jaden?
we talked about it. I didn't really, I witnessed one situation. No, I'll take it back. I went to their apartment and the doors were removed off of the kids' bedrooms. And that was a discipline thing. And then before I got Jaden, the first time, Bill and I went to pick him up, and I don't know who did this or what, but Jaden was down to having 2 outfits of clothes in the corner of the bedroom. There was no other Jaden clothes anywhere, closet anywhere, and no dresser for Jaden's clothes. And I said to Kai, "Where's all Jaden's clothes?" And he said, "I don't know. Maybe they're in the laundry." Well, I knew better.
So let me ask you, you indicated there were 2 occasions when Jaden came to live with you.
Yeah, there was.
So when was the first? And this is after Kai had moved to.
Yes, after Kai moved to Longview, he ran away, and Bill and I decided that there was a lot of stress in the household with Jaden because they didn't get along. Kelly, Jaden, Kai, and Jaden ran away. So Bill and I went up there and we hunted for him, and we ended up deciding that it'd be best for Jaden to come down here and stay with us.
How old was he at that point?
I can't remember.
Okay.
He was I'm sorry, I can't remember.
That's right. Now you said there was a second time he came down to live with you.
Yeah, there was a second time. He was apparently he got into trouble. He ran away. That was when the police brought him back, and he went to juvenile. He went to juvenile, and again, Bill and I decided it'd be best for Jaden. There was a court hearing, and we were in the court hearing, Kai and myself and Bill, through most of the court hearing, and we told Kai and the person that was the juvenile judge that we would like to take Jaden home. And so they agreed on it, and we brought Jaden back down.
Do you know about how old he was at that point?
I think he was probably 16, 17, 16, 17, somewhere.
Do you know, was he in school in here in Longview when this occurred?
I don't, I know there's another time we picked Jaden up and he was in school,
Okay.
but I can't remember him being in school.
Did he attend school in Toledo, Oregon?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so you remember that.
Yes, I remember bringing him down, and we immediately got him enrolled in school. And Jaden does have ADHD. Um, he graduated though.
Okay. Now, at some point, it was, he must have informed you that he had a girlfriend that was pregnant.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who the girlfriend was?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Her name's Kimberly. And I can't remember her last name because she's got a different name on her. Kimberly Sloan, that's what it is.
Right, Kimberly Sloan. All
Right.
So what happened with regards to that? Jaden tells you that Miss Sloan is pregnant.
He was staying out in Siletz with her, and then her aunt decided it was time for Kimberly to go back to her mom and dad's, and Jaden came here, and we told him he's finishing school, and he wasn't, in other words, he wasn't going down to Roseburg with her. And so Kimberly went to Roseburg, and Jaden stayed here and graduated.
Okay. And then was it after graduation that he got custody of Jalen?
Yes.
Do you know how that came about?
Yes. They said that they called me and said there was going to be a court hearing because we went down to visit, and we met with we didn't meet with her at that time, but we went down to visit, and then after that they had a surprise visit on Kimberly, and Kimberly had and I didn't find this out until the court hearing with Kimberly, but she had a thing set up for parents signed that they would not leave Kimberly alone with Jalen whatsoever.
All right.
And so they had a surprise visit done with Kimberly, and no one would answer the door, but they could hear Jalen crying. And so they ended up getting custody or taking Jalen from Kimberly.
Right. And that was the state of Oregon.
What about the state of Oregon? Yes.
Yeah, CPS.
Yes.
And they then gave custody to Jaden.
Yes.
All right.
They did.
How old was Jalen at this time?
Oh, well, she was born in October, and Jaden got her in January, about middle of January.
Okay.
A little over 3 months.
Right. Did you have opportunity to see Jaden with Jalen?
Yes, I did.
He and Jalen were living at your house at this time, is that right?
He graduated, so let me think how this. He went home after graduation with his mother in Spokane. He was living up there and working at Sirius XM. And that's when the court thing happened. And he did all of the court, the CPS court hearing via the phone. And so he had to travel down here to go get her. And he brought some friends, and his sister Kylie and I and Jaden and two other friends, I think, went down to Roseburg to get Jalen.
Right. And you had opportunity to see Jaden with Jalen?
I've had opportunity to see
I'm talking
them
about
together.
At this time when he first got custody of her.
He was a proud daddy when he got custody of her.
how did he do with regards to care for her?
Well, he was not here a whole long time. He was here a day. And she was fine, but of course we had some other people around. So his friend came over and and he held her, and and his sister Kylie was here and she wanted to hold her. But other than that, he did everything else, changed the diapers and made the bottles, and
All right.
yeah.
And then, so then he left and went back to the Spokane area?
Yes, he did.
When was the next time that you would have saw him with Jalen?
Well, his mother and Jaden and Kimberly, or Caitlin, sorry, moved down here. And Caitlin and Jaden ended up moving in with me, and his mother was down in Winchester Bay.
Okay.
So she was probably about I'm not sure. It was probably in August or July, somewhere around there. And well, she wasn't even a year old yet, because I celebrated her birthday with them here. So so she was probably she was probably 8 months.
All right. And he moves in to your home, and you had opportunity to observe the care that he was given Jalen.
Yes.
And go ahead and describe that for the court.
Well, I helped out, of course, with some stuff because I'm a Costco shopper. So I bought some stuff, like the apple juice things, and but he made sure she had formula and everything that she needed.
Did you
I
see,
know that he took her quite a bit to the park.
did you see him changing her diapers?
Yes.
How
I
often?
actually, well, after I got him some gloves, he actually had an infection on his hands that Bill and I were afraid that he would, it might be transferable. They were like bubble warts. And so I bought him gloves to wear, and because I didn't want, Bill and I thought, well, they might transfer, but he took care of her. Other than that, I wasn't the diaper changer. He was. So
there's allegations that after he left your residence that he did very little care, if no care, of Jalen, and she would have dirty filled diapers and that type of thing. Did you observe that in Jaden?
no, I've seen diapers that have been on a child for a long time, and I know what they look like, and I've never seen diapers like that with Jalen.
Okay. And can you describe basically the relationship between Jaden and Jalen?
Well, he pretty much, if Caitlin was around, she did some stuff with Jalen and Jaden. I mean, it's like he didn't have much choice, because if Caitlin was working, Jaden was taking care of Jalen. And yeah, he did good with Jalen. I had no fear of having Jalen and Jaden together. None.
Now, and you indicated that she stayed there through her first birthday.
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall the birthday party?
Oh, yes.
Where did that occur?
It was at a park here
Okay.
in Toledo.
All right.
It was awesome.
Okay. And then at some point, Jaden left.
Yes, he did leave, and I'm trying to. I wasn't here when they left. I was in Michigan. That's my dog. Can you hear her?
There was some noise going on.
Yeah, my dog wants to play tug of war. I'm just gonna go outside on the porch and set.
All right. Well,
Just a second. I'm sorry. Okay. There.
now we're not getting a good connection.
Oh, goodness sakes.
We,
Hang on a sec. I'm gonna try the other porch because it's right next to my bedroom where the router is. Sorry, guys. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and see you.
Okay,
All right. Okay.
okay.
Hopefully there will be no more moves. So there's been an allegation by Kai and Kelly that there was conflict between you and Jaden, and that you were, I think the word was that you threw him out, that you told him he had to leave.
No, never happened. I wouldn't throw my grandson out.
Okay.
No.
But
And I wouldn't throw him out with a baby.
but he did leave your residence.
Yes, he did.
And what was your understanding as to why he left your residence?
Well, I'm really not quite positive, but he went to Spokane to Caitlin's mom's house.
Okay.
So
Caitlin was Caitlin who?
he broke up.
Caitlin was his girlfriend at the time.
Right.
Okay. Did you stay in contact with Jaden?
Yes, I definitely did.
Okay.
My grandchildren mean the world to me.
And then from Spokane, he went and lived in here in Silver Lake with Kai Ludwig.
Yes.
Were you aware of when that happened?
Yes, I was
Okay.
aware. Kai called me. It was after Christmas because Kai called me and that was Christmas of 20. And Kai called me and said that they were supposed to come down and they did a lot of gift shopping for Christmas for him. And Kai was really upset that they didn't make it down for Christmas. So it was after Christmas that they went down there.
All right. Do you know how long Jaden was and Jalen were at Kai's residence?
I'd say probably maybe 3 months, 2 months, somewhere between 2 and 3 months.
So I need to ask you about this. My understanding is in early June that Jaden signed a power of attorney with regards to Jalen, and he got a bus ticket to your house. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yes, that's correct.
Did you have conversations with Kai or Kelly about that?
No, I had conversation with Jaden.
Okay.
Well, I guess I probably did. I can't remember Kai and Kelly, but I had conversation with Jaden because I had to pick him up at the train station in Albany.
All right. And then he came to your house. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then it's my understanding. Well, strike that. Were there any conversations with regards to this power of attorney between Jaden and Kai and Kelly?
Yes.
What were the conversations you had?
Either you signed the paper or you could live on the street in Longview or if he signed the paper, he could get a train
Your Honor,
ride down.
I'm gonna object this to foundation. There's no question of, she said conversations, don't know who, don't know when, how they took place or anything.
Excuse me?
So, Ms. Ludwig, the comments were directed towards me, not towards you. So there was an objection. Maybe Mr. Anagnostou. I'm overruling the objection. Maybe Mr. Anagnostou, you could just simply clarify to whom the conversation was with or with whom.
Okay. So who did you have conversations with about Jaden coming down to your residence?
Jaden.
So you had those with Jaden.
Yes.
He gets down to your residence, and then it's my understanding about 2 weeks later, there was a graduation party up in Silverton at Kai and Kelly's house.
Yes.
Okay, did you attend that?
Well, I was going to.
Okay, go ahead. Tell the court what happened.
We got there and Grace and her mother from down here in Newport were there at Streeters. I visited with them, and the day of the graduation, I'm just going, I went back to Streeters, and Kelly had plans. The girls did their nails and stuff, and Caitlin and Jaden came down, and Caitlin started bashing her living situation, saying that she has to do laundry for everybody in the household, and she said that Kai and Kelly moved Jalen's bed into their room, and she said that when they went to the zoo, Kelly took over, and all Caitlin could do was push the stroller, empty stroller.
Your Honor, I'm
She
gonna
wasn't happy
object
there.
to any additional hearsay from what Caitlin said.
Okay.
So again, Ms. Ludwig, the comments are not directed towards you. They're directed towards me. The objection is sustained.
Okay. There was a incident that happened at this graduation party in which the police were called. Do you recall that?
Yes, it was before the graduation. Yes.
Before the graduation. Can you tell the court what occurred?
I received a phone call from Kelly, and this is shortly after Caitlin shows up at Streeters, which is 2 blocks away. And she said, "Where are the kids?" And I said, "Well, Jaden, I
I'm going to
said to
object
Kelly,
again to any hearsay from what Caitlin said.
Noted at this point, overall, go ahead, Ms. Ludwig.
Go ahead.
okay, so Kelly, I told Kelly that Caitlin came down, and I said to Kelly what was going on, because Kelly said they were having an argument. And I told Kelly what they were arguing about. And Kelly was on speakerphone, and Caitlin was listening at that point. And she sat there and lied to Kelly. And I said, "She's lying, Kelly." And I said, "I'll be up there shortly." So Bill and I jumped in the truck with Jaden, and I was the only one that got out of the truck. And I went around the trailer that's on the side of the driveway towards the back door. And there was Kelly standing on her step. There's one step into the house. There was Taylor at the right of her. And there was Caitlin. Well, it'd be on my right. And then it was Caitlin on my left, but standing, there was 3 girls right there at the door outside. And I, was kind of making a telling Kelly she looked nice. Then Jaden came around the trailer. I hadn't even made it towards the door. I thought it was funny, 3 people standing out there. But Jaden came around, and he cussed at Kelly, pointed his finger, and called her some names. And Kelly told him to leave the property, and Jaden said no. And at that point, she charged off the step towards Jaden, and Jaden was behind me, so I tried to step in between them, and Jaden went around to my right, and so I followed him around, and so did Kelly. And at that point, I seen Taylor with a chokehold on Jaden, slamming her cell phone, and she did have her keys in her hand, slamming it onto the top of his head. And Kelly says, "No, not my daughter." And I just couldn't fathom what she said when she said that, because Jaden was the one that was in the chokehold.
And who had him in the chokehold?
Taylor Craig.
All right.
Yes.
And then go ahead.
And
she's hitting him on the head with a cell phone.
Right. And then Kelly hurried towards Taylor and Jaden after she said, "Oh no, not my daughter." And I kind of followed her. Well, Jaden broke loose of them. And then he went a few feet further, and his girlfriend, Caitlin, grabbed him around the waist. And Kelly was coming towards him again, and Caitlin and Jaden fell. And when they fell, Kelly, I stood right there and watched them fall. And Kelly put her hands to her lips and said, "Oh, you didn't just hit me." And I did. I got down on my knees. I kind of got the back area of Jaden's head, wanted him to look at me. And I said, "Caitlin, let him go." I screamed that twice. Kelly was on her knees. She pulled his hair. And then Taylor comes around and tries to kick him in the balls. I screamed again, "Caitlin, let him go." And then he went to the truck. And I think that his shirt or jacket, something got pulled off, and I went to look for it, and Taylor was on the phone calling the police.
Was Jaden injured in this melee?
Yes, he was.
Did you see the
He had
injury?
scratches on his stomach and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. He had scratches on his stomach.
And bruising.
All right. Now, did he hit Kelly in the mouth?
Well, at the time he was going back, his arms went up because Caitlin had him around the waist like a bear hug. And that's the only time that Kelly even said, oh, I mean, that's the only time she said, oh, no, you didn't just hit me. And at that time, I assumed that his hands went up and caught her as she was coming towards him.
All
That's the only way. And that's the only time she ever said anything about being hit while we were there doing this scuffle.
Is when he was basically being body slammed.
Right, backwards. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. And from that, you're aware that a restraining order was entered preventing Jaden from contacting Kelly?
Yes.
All right. And prior to this incident, have you observed or have any knowledge of Jaden being an angry, violent type person?
No, not really.
Okay.
He has taught himself if he gets upset, he goes for a walk. That's what Jaden does. That's his way to blow off steam.
All right.
He doesn't, I mean, if he gets, you know what I'm saying? I think that he's got a good measure in place if he does get angry, put it that way.
Okay. Now, are you aware that he went over a year then without seeing Jalen?
Right.
Do you know why?
The restraining order.
Okay.
He didn't want to mess up his chance of getting his daughter back.
All right. And at some point, he learned that the restraining order had been dropped.
Yes.
Do you know when that was?
Well, it was close to October 1st. It wasn't exactly on October 1st, but it was close to October 1st, before October 1st.
All right. And when he found out, what did he do?
He contacted Bill and I and asked if we would be willing to go up there with him. And we said yes.
All right. And that was to pick up Jalen?
Yes.
Okay. And so did you guys do that? Did you take Jaden up to Silver Lake?
No. Jaden drove himself and Michelle was with, and Bill and I were in our own vehicle.
All right. And so what happened?
Well, my son got angry and called, and I talked to him for a few minutes, and he told me that we were blindsiding them, and I said talk to Jaden, and Jaden wanted to pick Jalen up and give them time, and Jaden said that he would be back at 6 o'clock that evening to get Jalen.
Okay.
And in the meantime, Jaden called the police and talked with the police. And then Kai and Kelly called the police also. And I don't know who come up with this, but they really didn't want to traumatize Jaden, and all of us adults that went up there went to dinner and we discussed what was going on, and Jaden's the only one that could make up make the decision, because we weren't going to do it for him. And we talked about it, and for the best interest of Jalen, he said, yeah, I'm going to leave her there and we can reconnect, because he hadn't seen her in so long. So he was going to do that. So he left her there. And well, actually, we got a hotel room that day, and they said that Jaden could have Jalen overnight.
All right. And were you present when Jaden had the overnight with Jalen?
I was in another room, but I was there.
Did you see them together, Jaden and Jalen?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I
So
did.
can you describe for the court what you saw?
Jaden and Jalen played with toys on the floor, and she was real affectionate to Jaden. I would say, I mean, with the hugs, because I got pictures of her hugging her daddy, and the way she was hugging on him and stuff, I would say that she was real comfortable with him. It was a really good deal.
Okay. And was it the plan? Do you know if the plan with Kai Ludwig and Kelly Crape to kind of integrate Jalen back with Jaden?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have conversations with them about that?
I'm thinking we did, because everybody was on the same page, I thought. So I'm thinking that we did. I don't know, because we didn't want to traumatize. Jaden didn't want to traumatize her. And
Right.
that was the whole deal.
Okay. Are you aware that instead Kelly and Kai started this action and got an emergency order? You're aware of that?
I'm aware of it now. Yes.
Okay.
I seen the dates, and she invited Jaden to the birthday party and served him there.
All right.
Or one of her people served him there.
So they invited Jaden to Jalen's second birthday party. No, it would be his third.
No, it's third. Yes.
Third birthday. And then served him at the birthday party.
Yes. And I think the birthday party was on, I'm not positive, but close to the 8th. I think it wasn't exactly on the 16th.
Okay. All right. Okay. My client has indicated that he wants to have Jalen back in his custody, and that at least on a temporary basis, he would be residing with you.
Yes.
Has he talked to you about that?
Oh, yes.
And
he's talked to Bill and I both.
okay. So are you in agreement with that plan?
Very much so.
Okay. And is there room for Jalen at your home?
Jalen would have her own room, and Jaden would have to use a cot in the living room, but it's been done before.
Okay. And you're aware that he works in Silverton, Oregon?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what his plan is with regards to that?
Well, he loves his job, and he's willing to drive, and I just went there last weekend and it took us about an hour and a half to get there. And I think he could handle that.
Okay. So do you know what his work hours are?
7 to 3:30, I think.
So if he gets off at 3:30, it's an hour and a half back to your place.
Yes.
All right.
Or close to it.
Okay. And you support him in this plan for Jalen at this time?
Yes.
Do you know if this is a permanent plan that he's proposing?
Bill and I are looking at this as a stepping stone. It's we've believe in support, not separation. And I think this would be a good deal for Jaden and Jalen because they will be together, and it won't be he'll be able to tuck his daughter in, read her books and stuff like that. It just would be a good deal. And when he gets able to move out, he'll be moving out. And I'm a protective grandmother, so he'll be moving out with Jalen into a 2-bedroom place. Because
Right.
I'm real protective, I guess. I was protective with my son and his children as well.
All right. You're aware that he stays, at least at this time, with his, I'll get it. Me and names. Michelle Harrington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Any concern about
Harrington.
I'm sorry, what? Can you hear me?
Can I hear you?
Okay, yes.
Yes.
So my question was if you had any concerns with regards to him being around Michelle and her son. You're aware her son has a child abuse, I guess, determination against him.
Right. Yes. And no, I am not concerned whatsoever about that.
Why not?
Because he won't take Jalen to Michelle's and put her in harm's way. He just won't. And actually, I've talked to Michelle about it, and she says, "Well, my son's not gonna, it's just like her son's not gonna be put in a position to where it's gonna be bad for him, and Jaden is not gonna put Jalen in that position either."
So in the interim, he would be commuting back and forth to your residence until he got his own residence set up.
Correct.
And you think that plan is the best interest of Jalen?
Jalen and Jaden.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Let's go and take our afternoon break. It's about 3:17, so let's be back at 3:32. And remember, the court day ends at 4:30, so please plan accordingly. Thanks.
Your Honor.
All right, let's go ahead and reassemble. We have Ms. Ludwig. Looks like she's here picking up her phone. That's great. Thank you. And Mr. Anagnostou was just in the middle of asking questions. He's here. And Ms. Winkles, you're here also?
I am, Your Honor.
Perfect. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Anagnostou.
Yeah, Miss Ludwig, can you hear me? There's yeah, your hand's in the way.
Still muted.
Gotcha.
Oh, there you go.
Great.
All right.
All right, go ahead,
Sorry.
please. All right, just a reminder, you're under oath. Go ahead, Mr. Anacostou.
Miss Ludwig,
Yes.
you can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Just a couple more items I wanted to ask you. There's been an allegation that Jaden doesn't bathe regularly and shower and smells bad. Have you had occasion to notice any of that?
You know, when he was younger, but not no more.
All right. Well, they're saying it's more recent. Have you noticed any of that?
No, when I'm around Jaden, he never smells. He's clean.
Okay. The other thing is, if he had Jalen living in your residence, he has indicated he would find daycare. Do you know if he has looked into that?
Yes,
Are there daycares near your home?
there is a Head Start, actually.
Okay.
But
And
that's a half a day. But there's another daycare in Newport.
okay. And the Head Start, do you have some history with that Head Start that's near your home?
Yes, I do. I got Jaden in it, and then I got Holly into Head Start.
Okay, all right. And what about medical care?
Well, his doctor is a pediatrician when he was young, and that's where Jalen would go.
Okay, all right. And do you know if Jaden has looked into that for Jalen?
I believe he did.
Okay, all right.
It's so hard because Jaden don't have Jalen. I mean, Jaden's really, sometimes I would say between a rock and a hard spot.
Got it. I don't think I have any other questions, Aaron.
Okay, thank you. Cross-examination, Ms. Winkles.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, I guess I have to go back in time a little bit. You mentioned an incident first with Jaden's clothing. And you mentioned that he had no clothes. Isn't it true that that was the time that Jaden was 15 years old and that you were fully aware that he was actually pooping in his pants and hiding them in the closet, and that's why he had no clothing at that time?
I was in that bedroom and there was no odor in the bedroom, and there was only a pair, like two t-shirts and a couple bottoms of some sort, but that was it. I mean, he has more t-shirts and pants and shorts than just two sets.
Isn't it true that you text Kai at that time concerned that Jaden was sitting in his own poop for several hours and you were concerned about his mental health?
Jaden had the same thing my son did, and he needed medicine for it. I can't remember the doctor's terms of it. Holly had the same problem.
Okay. And let's go now to when Jaden ran away. Isn't it true that the reason behind him running away was that he was caught having sexual conversations over the phone with his cousin? And immediately after that, he got in trouble for shoplifting, and that's why he ran away.
I can't remember the cousin thing, and I don't know the date of the shoplifting, so I don't know.
Okay, isn't it true that he called you to come pick him up and you did without notifying his parents?
No, Kai's always been notified.
Okay, isn't that the same occasion that the police came to your house to return him to Kelly and Kai?
Absolutely not. There's been no police at my house looking for Jaden to pick him up.
Okay.
He did run away, and he was gone a week, and my son called me and said, "Have you seen Jaden?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, Jaden's been missing a week." I said, "Why in the hell did you wait a week," excuse my language, to call me and let me know that Jaden ran away? And this was actually, it was Christmas time, because I remember it was icy up in Portland, Vancouver, and even Longview that year.
Was that the first time or the second time he ran away that you're talking about?
That probably was the third. When he left and Kai didn't notify me for a week, I think it was the third and final.
Okay. The time that he came to your house and that you picked him up, isn't it true that you were essentially allowing him to stay there in violation of what his parents wanted until you were informed that you had to return him?
I and Bill have watched Jaden and go through a lot of hard times, and I did seek a lawyer.
That's not what I asked. I asked for a yes or no. Isn't it true that the time he went away, that you picked him up, you took him to your house, and you refused to get back until the cops told you you had to?
No, the cops, they weren't even involved.
Okay.
But
Were you informed you had to return?
I did hang on to Jaden a couple of days before I contacted Kai. The cops weren't involved, and when we contacted Kai, my husband talked to him about keeping Jaden here, and he said yes.
Okay. And let's move now to the house, the two houses. So you have some inconsistent testimony here. Now Kai testified that he lived in a different house from you. And you interestingly had testimony that you said that you moved. Well, let me ask you first. When you redid the house you're currently in, what year was that you redid it?
I don't know the dates. I'm bad at dates. It was Kai got divorced from Bobby, so I have no idea of the dates.
Okay. Isn't it true that you did live next door? Because you also mentioned that the kids moved in with you later. So your testimony is consistent. So did you live in the house next door, or did you all squish together in the 2-bedroom?
There was 2 different times that Kai and the children were here together. The first time Kai and the children were together, that was with his first wife, Crystal. That's when he lived at 115. The second time, that was when I finally had to take the kids next door. And then Kai was here at the 115 house by himself, and I had the kids next door at the 109 house. Then something happened. I'm getting dry mouth.
Okay, so the question is, did Kai live with his children in a different house than you, or did you all live together in one house?
The second time we all lived together in one house.
Okay, was there a reason that nobody lived in the other one?
Yes. I wasn't going to let Kai move next door because of the damage he did to the house when he lived in the 115 house.
Okay, and now there's another couple of inconsistencies. You said that it was with his second wife, Bobby, correct? That you said he left to go with Bobby and left the kids with you, is that right?
Well, I was the main person that took care of the children, is probably what I meant. He didn't leave the kids. He went to work. He'd come home. He'd go to sleep. I'd go to work. Then he watched Tolly, and then I'd come home, and we would have. If he was working night shift, I would be cooking the dinners.
Okay.
And I watched him.
Okay, moving on to now the current issue. Isn't it true that Jaden only lived with you for a period of 3 months with the child?
No, he was here longer than that. I was thinking maybe 4. Yeah, you're right. Maybe.
Okay.
And that was before he moved to Spokane.
Okay, now I'm going to go through some of your texts and you tell me to Kai. Let's see if you remember them. But actually, before we do that, did you ever bathe the child when they were living with you?
Did I ever bathe Jaden and Holly?
Not Jaden and Holly. We're talking about Jaylyn now. So when
I did the time that they lived with me, I put her in the sink and we played because I just loved children. We played and Caitlin was there and And then one time I bathed her in my in a tub in my shower.
Okay, did you ever text your son Kai that neither Caitlin nor Jaden, and we're talking about around, my apologies, we're talking back in 2020. Did you text your son Kai about both Caitlin and Jaden not doing anything for their child and how upset you were? Did you text anything like that to Kai?
I can't remember. I know they both were working. And yeah, to be honest with you, they did the garbage bag thing with the diapers, and that was kind of a bummer. But she got
Isn't it true that
fed.
isn't it true that you complained to Kai that not only did they leave diapers everywhere, but that Jaden wasn't taking care of Jalen when he was there?
I can't remember that. I mean, I really can't. She slept in the same room with them, and
Didn't you also text him that it was all Caitlin's fault, that she needed to step up because Jaden had issues and she knew that?
I don't know. I could have. I don't know. I can't remember that.
Okay.
I mean, if you got it in text, then I said it, but I can't remember.
Is that how you felt at the time? That neither of them were doing enough, but that Jaden should be let off the hook a little because he did have these issues with ADHD?
My deal with Caitlin and Jaden was Caitlin screamed and yelled at him all the time, and that upset me.
Okay, and did Jaden do do you believe that Jaden didn't do what he should have done as a father, but that was due to his ADHD?
I try not to use ADHD, but I mean, I really seen Jaden taking care of Jalen. He always had a diaper backpack. He took her to the park, and they would swing, and
But isn't it true you're the one who fed the child almost every single day, and you told
No.
Kelly and Kai that?
No, I don't remember that either. And Caitlin fed the baby, and Jaden fed the baby, and I helped buy snacks and stuff for the baby. I didn't
Isn't
feed
it
her every
true
day.
Isn't it true that you bought nearly all of the food when they were there? You paid $300 towards car, I believe, fixing or insurance or something towards the car, and you made additional payments to buy a bouncy swing and a stroller.
Well, I bought the bouncy swing. I don't know if it was I did. Because they're fun.
Okay.
You know, I do things because I do things for everybody.
Okay.
So
and when you were in Michigan, that's when Jaden and Caitlin left the residence, correct?
right.
Okay. And isn't it true that your husband was still there and he got upset with them and asked them to leave?
Well, as a wife talking to her husband, I asked him if he did tell them to leave, and he said no.
Okay.
He did not.
Then why is it that you text your son that same day that he'd asked them to leave, but that they had found a place with Caitlin's mother, even though her mother didn't like Jaden? Do you remember that text?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna actually, let me find that. I will read that back to you and let's see if you remember. Bear with me 2 seconds.
I was going through a lot. That's why I was in Michigan. So I don't know.
Okay, do you remember them leaving because you asked them to leave, but that they decided to go up there?
I never asked them to leave.
Did your husband ask them to leave?
Well, I'm gonna object. That calls for speculation or knowledge or something.
Yeah,
As I told you,
objection. So the
talked.
objection is overruled. You can answer.
Okay. As I told you, I asked my husband and he said no.
And why would you ask him that particular question? What would cause you to ask him that question?
This stuff that's going on, I guess.
Well, what was the stuff that was going on?
The court stuff.
What do you mean by the court stuff?
Well, rumor has it that I kicked him out or Bill kicked him out. Everybody kicked him out and they said, okay, Bill, did you? And he said, absolutely not. So
Can you tell me what court document specifically said that your husband Bill kicked him out?
I don't know if it was documents or what. I can't remember.
Okay, because this office.
I don't really keep records of stuff. So
okay, isn't it true that there's absolutely no record in any of the court pleadings, even referencing your husband having made any statements or even being alive in any of our pleadings?
I'm gonna object, Your Honor. I mean, it calls for her to know every record in the file and whether there's, I mean, it's, what's the objection?
The objection is overruled. If she knows, she knows. She doesn't, she doesn't.
I can't answer where I heard it or what. So I don't know.
When Jaden was living with you, was he receiving food stamps?
I believe I'm not positive. I can't remember that either because I think they were. I know they were going and getting food share.
Is that like the food
I can't. They have a church here that donates food to people that need food. So they were getting food share.
Okay. Did he have a job in the 3 months he lived with you?
He went to Taco Bell and got a job.
How long did he work at Taco Bell?
Until they moved.
And when did he get the job? When did he get the job? Okay.
Don't remember. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And moving now to the incident. Now I'm reading some of the texts here, and they're also in the book at 6 and 7. You've given Jaden a significant amount of money and time and effort on your part in his life, correct?
I've given Jaden money, yes.
Okay. So does it seem reasonable to you that Jaden would leave his daughter in the care of these people that had abused him in exchange for a train ticket to your house?
This is what I was told. So
if he had called you, would you have bought him a train ticket?
I can't answer that. He didn't call me. I don't know what I would have done. I could have gotten in my car and went and got him. As far as I know, I don't know.
Okay. In the last 6 months, how many times have you driven to this area in the purposes of helping Jaden see his child or for whatever purpose?
Well, I haven't been in there. Haven't been up there for probably a month. Maybe in the last 6 months, I would say maybe 6 times. But I get to see Jaylin when I do it too. No, I'm just kidding.
And is that before this action was filed, before he attempted to get the child, so from the time Jaden moved out to the time this action was filed, how many times did you see Jaylin during that period?
Between what time period?
Between the time he moved out of your house, Jaden moved out, to the time that you guys went to Longview in October of 2022, how many times had you seen Jaylin in that time period?
I have I've only FaceTimed with Kai maybe 3 times, I'm thinking.
Okay, so since this action was filed and since the father has had visitation, you've gotten to see your great granddaughter a whole lot more, isn't that right?
Well, when he, except for when he lived with me.
Since
I-
October, when he started getting visitation and this minor guardianship action, you've gotten to see her a lot more since October than you had the previous year. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And is that
Because
why,
of my because of my relationship with Kelly, for one.
and is that why you drive Jaden to Cowlitz County so that you can also see Jalen?
I drive him because he didn't have the money sometimes to come up. In the first hearing, the judge hit it right on the nail. I drive because I was helping him also get up there to see her.
Okay. And you also got to see the child, correct?
Well, that's like two benefits in one, I guess. Yes.
Okay. And you were present up until the court made their additional ruling a month ago. When Michelle wasn't there on those visits, you were there. Isn't that correct?
Not all the time.
Okay. But you were the driver, correct?
Not all the time.
So did Jaden drive you on occasion?
No, Jaden went by himself.
So when you were with him, did you drive?
When I was with him, I misunderstood that question. Actually, I drove except for one time.
Okay. And the
And
times
Jaden.
the times you drove, he was with you the entirety of the visit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the time of the incident. Let's go to the time of the incident on the graduation ceremony. Now, you made a comment that Caitlin was down at Streeters, right?
At one time of the day, yes, she did go down the Streeters before before the incident.
Because I was a little confused here because you said you were talking to her at a different location. And then you stated that you walked up to Kelly's house and there she was suddenly on the porch with Kelly and Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay. So was she with
Caitlin
you?
was Caitlin was at Streeters, and then she went back to Kelly's, and then I went to Kelly's.
Okay.
She was she was in the house with Kelly when Kelly called me, and I told Kelly what Caitlin said.
Okay. And one second. And you said that who had him in a chokehold? I'm
Taylor.
sorry. Okay, before we go there, you also said that you were down there when she called, correct? At Streeters, when Kelly called, you were at Streeters.
Yes, I was at Streeters when Kelly called.
And Caitlin was next to you, correct?
No, Caitlin had already returned back to Kelly's. Streeters is not very far. It's a 5-minute walk.
Okay. So Taylor was the one with him in the chokehold, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how was she choking him at the same time as hitting him on the head with a cell phone?
She had her left arm around his neck and the phone was in her right hand. And Taylor's a big girl and she's tall also. So
why didn't anyone report any injuries of Mr. Ludwig at the time? You didn't report it to the police and he didn't report it to the police. Why was that?
Well, I looked at it a lot different than Kelly did, but I told the police I thought it was a family scuffle, but I didn't know Jaden had gotten clawed by new manicure fingernails, and I mean, I guess I would look at it as a family deal. So
okay, why didn't he tell anybody of his injuries?
I didn't see his injuries until after we were gone, and he took pictures of them himself.
Okay, and when you spoke to the police, isn't it true that you said that you were pulling his hair in your statement to get him off of Kelly?
No,
Okay, I'm gonna go to the police record, which is,
he was on Caitlin on his back.
oh, so he was on top of Caitlin. So I got the
Yes.
name. Okay, and you were pulling his hair to get him off, correct?
I just grabbed the back of his head so I could turn it a little bit my way and say, get in the car. And Caitlin let go of him. Then Kelly bent down by my side, grabbed his hair, and Taylor ran around and tried to kick him in the balls.
Okay, and let me ask you something. At some point, so you guys are staying in a hotel, right? You were with Jaden in a hotel at this
Yep.
time?
Yep.
At some point, somebody hears something about the cops being called, correct?
Yeah, I guess.
And isn't
No,
it true? Isn't it true that at that time you took Jaden to the hotel you guys were staying at in the car?
Yes.
Okay, so you knew the cops were coming. You knew that there was an incident that occurred, and your first line of thinking was to get him out of there to the hotel, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, do you always try to solve his problems and the issues he creates for him?
I am overprotective, but if I can't answer that. Not always.
Okay, isn't it true that you've essentially bailed him out of trouble time and time again since he was
Nope.
15 years old? Okay, so you didn't bail him out when he ran away twice to your house. You didn't save him from that, pick him up, feed him, hide him.
He didn't run away to my house. He ran away in Longview. And then the other time he was headed to California, the last time.
Okay, but
And
the
I
first two
did.
times you picked him up, the one time, and you allowed him to stay at your house the second time, correct?
The first time, I don't remember if he stayed at my house. Maybe the second and third. I don't remember.
And
I
then,
know the third because we called Kai and got Kai's permission.
okay, and then he comes back to your, anytime he gets kicked out of somewhere, he ends up back at your house for a couple of months, isn't that right?
You know, I'm here for my grandson and I'm here for my granddaughter as I was here for my son.
Okay.
And
How long,
I'm that way.
what is the longest period of time that Jaden has lived with you consistently?
Well, I think he might have been 17 and he graduated. I think it was almost a year and a half.
When he was a minor?
Graduated. Yeah, when he
And
ran away the last time.
And when he was an adult, what's the longest time he lived with you as an adult?
Till he graduated.
Okay, and what's the second longest time he's ever lived with you?
He lived with me when his dad and Crystal got divorced.
How old
So
was
did
he then?
Holly.
How old was he then?
Jaden was a little over 3.
Okay, no, I'm talking about as an adult. As an adult.
As an adult. He's lived with me a couple of times.
What's the longest amount of time?
That's the longest amount right there. The last time.
So he was a child still when he was in high school. As an adult, he's out of high school now. What's the longest amount of time he's lived with you since graduating from high school?
He lived with me when he was 19 and 20, I believe.
And for how long each time?
The total time.
So he lived with you for an entire year between the ages of 19 and 20.
I believe so. To the best of my remembrance.
What years were those?
I think he was 20 when he graduated. So that would have been June. And that would have been, then he went with his mother. And he was here at 17 or 17, I think.
Okay, wait.
Because he turned 18 in school. He's in Toledo. and he graduated at 20.
He graduated from high school at 20.
Yes, he was 20, just like his dad.
Okay, and then he had his child at what age?
She was born in October of 19. The girlfriend was pregnant when she moved to Roseburg.
Okay, so what year was he born? 2000,
20.
correct? Was he born in 2000? Correct?
Yes.
So he was born in 2000. So so you're stating he graduated at 20. So that would have been 2020. But isn't it true that he lived for a time period? I think your testimony, he lived with the baby's mommy or the baby mother for a time.
Oh,
correct?
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I'm sorry, I forgot.
And
He
then,
did live with Kimberly a little bit, but not probably about 2 months, maybe.
okay, and then he moved back in with you and only lived with you for a period of 3 to 4 months, correct?
I know he wasn't going. He lived with Caitlin, but still went to school. Or
And then he moved to
Kimberly.
And then he moved
And
to
after
Spokane.
And after he graduated, he moved to Spokane.
Okay. And then he lived in Spokane, and then he was kicked out of there, and then he moves to Kelly and Kai's house. Why didn't he move back in with you?
Well, that's I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. And then he moves back in with them. And then can you tell me, did you ever have any discussion about he left their house and rather than taking the child with him, it's his testimony that he essentially sold the child for a train ticket or
What?
Is there a reason?
Okay.
Did he ever discuss with you the reason when he left Kai and Kelly's house, he didn't take the child with him?
Is there any reason?
Yeah, why didn't he
there
take the
is.
child? What was the reason?
Because Kelly had him sign the paper. Either you go to the streets of Longview, or I'm going to buy a ticket to your grandmother's house.
But would he have been on the streets of Longview? Wouldn't you have just picked him up like you always had?
Well, if he would have made that choice, I probably would have. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, now Mr. Boosie, you weren't here for that, but he was one of the friends that were called up after the court had essentially stated the visitation was just supposed to be for dad for a certain time period. It appears that Jaden had gone over to this man's house and they said that you bought them pizza. Do you remember buying them pizza?
I did. I use Domino's a lot. And I thought, wow, I can get a free pizza. So I called Domino's I did not call. I did it on my phone. I did Domino's and I told Jaden that he would have to go pick it up because I was going to pay delivery charges. So yes, Jaden did go pick up the pizza.
Okay. And so you were paying for pizza did you know where it was being delivered?
It was a free pizza. I didn't have to pay. And it didn't get delivered because I was not going to pay a delivery fee. So Jaden went and picked it up.
Did you know how many people it was going to feed?
I would assume 3 adults and Jaylin.
3 adults and Jaylin?
But when I'm thinking, but when I placed the order, I asked if it would be enough because I had a chance.
So you knew he was going to use his visitation at a location where he wasn't alone. Is that right?
Where he wasn't what?
So you knew when you bought him the pizza that he was having his visitation at a home with other adults there, correct?
Yeah, I did.
And so he wasn't doing his visitation on his own. Isn't that right?
Well, I guess he had a place for them to be, yes.
Okay, and I quickly want to ask you one other question. So there's been a lot of talk about Kai and Kelly can follow up and make sure that he really is living at your house. But you testified that when he ran away the first time, you didn't bother to call Kai and Kelly, correct?
Well, I did not, because their relationship with Jaden was totally not good. And I've even asked them to get counseling so they
Okay,
could work with Jaden.
So their relationship now is not good. So,
No,
and your interest has always been to protect Jaden, and it remains that way. Isn't that right?
if he didn't have me, who would he have?
Okay. I just want just to ask the court, have I had exhibit 6 and 7 entered yet? I believe so, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, 6 and 7 are admitted.
Okay. Why would you have texted Jaden? Well, the trailer needs to be ready and her crib up. So you texted Kai. And I'm assuming, and if you can tell me, was this meant for Jaden? Well, the trailer needs to be ready and her crib up because you know they'll call Child Protective Services on you.
Yeah, we were preparing the trailer for Jaylin, and yeah,
Okay.
I would have guessed they would have, because Kai told me that he didn't think it was a proper place for Jaylin.
Okay, and so that's the time that he was living in a tent and you bought him a trailer, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I got him a trailer.
And then didn't you also say, I went in to pay and he wanted us to pay almost $300 and I passed, so he was higher than online. And that's about the Timberline hotel room. Do you remember paying for the Timberline hotel?
I didn't pay for him because I went online to get a hotel, and I went in and he wanted to charge like $300. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
but
I got chewed by Kai saying I should have planned it better.
okay, so you've been paying for the hotel rooms.
Yeah, I was going to pay for the hotel.
Okay. And did you also text Kai, I didn't come up to fight or be the bitch, Kai, as the sheriff said. You knew this day was coming, you blamed me for it. And your dad and I wanted to visit.
I didn't text Kai, but somehow I got it that the sheriff said that you knew this day was coming, Kai. So I don't know how I heard it. I don't remember, but the sheriff said that. I didn't say that. Maybe I did. I can't remember. I thought the sheriff did. Nevertheless, I feel that Jaden made the right decision so he could get reconnected to his daughter, which he has been.
Okay. I believe I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, redirect examination.
Yes, Ms. Ludwig.
Yes.
Counsel was asking you questions that, as far as I could tell, implied that you do everything to protect Jaden.
I don't do everything to protect him, because if so, I would have had him in my custody a long time ago. I just found out that his dad did some abusive type stuff to Jaden, and yeah.
Okay.
And Bill and I a long time ago did discuss getting custody of Jaden and Holly, but we didn't go forward with it.
All right. The implication is, what counsel is implying is that you'll protect Jaden to the detriment of Jaylin.
I'll protect Jaden.
To the detriment of Jaylin.
What does that mean? I don't understand that.
Well, Basically, she was implying in her questions that you only protect Jaden, and if Jaylin was at your house, or Jaden, decided to take him to Michelle Harrington's house, you would not disclose that to
No, that's not true.
Kelly. Right?
No, that's not true.
Okay, well, that's what she's implying, is that they would have no way to verify that Jaylin was at your house during the visit.
If my son called me and wanted to talk to Jaylin, he could. He knows my number and he knows his dad's number.
All right. And it looks like you're getting this video thing down. Would you welcome that?
A video? Yes, absolutely. For
Okay.
Jaylyn?
Yeah, so because they're implying that Jaden is going to take Jaylyn to Michelle Harrington's house.
Nope,
Okay,
that's assumptions. I'm telling you. They assume that Jaden's going to do that, but he's not.
all right.
He's not going to put Jaylyn at that risk.
And you would be available to verify or relieve their fears by providing proof.
Yes,
Okay. And so they could call you and talk to Jaylyn, or they could set up a video thing to see the house.
absolutely.
All right.
Can I say something? I supported my whole family.
Hold
It
on,
doesn't just
you
start.
need to wait for a question. I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Do you know if Kai was physically abusive to Jaden?
I did not find that out until Jaden told me. The
Okay.
kids didn't talk to me a whole lot, even if I called them. So
But
I didn't find out until just not too long ago. Yeah.
it's these episodes of running away when Jaden would leave the home. Do you know what the cause of that was? Why he was doing that?
No.
No.
I feel really, as a mom, I really didn't get, I really should have asked questions and I didn't. And I feel bad about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in any event, Jaden came down to your house and finished high school.
Yes, he did.
And do you know where he is currently working?
He works at a trailer place for something. And he took me by there to show me, where he was working and what part of the building he worked at. He's pretty proud of it. And I think, yes, he's finally got his, what do you call it, niche? He found his niche.
And that was going to be my question. Is this the most stable employment that he has had that you're aware of?
Yeah, yes. Yes, and he likes it. And it's, like I said, he's found his niche.
I don't think I have any other questions, Your Honor.
Okay, recross.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ludwig, thank you very much for your time and input. You're free
Okay.
to stay on the call if you'd like. Just make sure your phone is muted and the camera's off. Otherwise, and you're also free to go also.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adagnosty, your next witness, please.
I'd call Jaden Ludwig to the stand.
Okay. Mr. Ludwig, if you'll make sure your camera's on, and if you'll please raise your right hand and I'll administer the oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Will you please state your full name and spell your last name?
Jaden Thomas Allen Ludwig, Ludwig.
Thank you. Mr. Anagnostou.
Mr. Ludwig, you are the father of Jaylyn Ludwig.
Yes, I am.
And this action is with regards to a guardianship of Jaylyn. You're aware of that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And we've heard a lot of testimony over the last 2 days. The question I want to start with, which I think is the most important question, is what do you want from the court at this time?
Well, I would like to see at least, overnight visitations. That way I could show the court that I am more than capable and willing and have the ability to take care of Jalen. It will show the courts that I can bathe Jalen. I can put Jalen in bed. I can read her a book. I can get her fed for dinner. I can get her fed for breakfast, and we can do anything throughout the day. So like lunches, snacks, drinks, and everything else like that. I'll be able to. There'll be. I would be able to have. There'll be. What's that word? Um. That way I can show the court system that I am able to and willingness to take care of Jalen.
Can you describe to the court your relationship with your daughter?
My relationship right now is great. I get hugs, I get kisses. We take naps together. Um, and everything else like that. We play. She's never argued with me, and she's never hit me, never scratched me or anything like that. She has never been abusive towards me, so she's not upset with me or anything like that. She loves me. Like I said, she gives me hugs and everything.
All right. Now, you're aware that first a court visitor and then guardian ad litem, Sherry Farr, was appointed to the case.
Yes.
How many times did Miss Farr see you in person with Jalen?
None. I did send her an email stating that if she would like to come see me with Jalen, if we could set a date and everything like that. She told me that she does not do in-person visitations unless they are unless they're in the investigation state.
Okay. Where did you offer to meet with
I
Sherry?
offered her to meet me near Kai's place, or either near Kai's place or at Kai's place, or if that did not work, we could figure out a meeting spot, like a park or some public place.
All right. So she has never seen you with Jalen.
Not physically.
Okay. All right. Who is Jalen's mother?
Jalen's mother is Kimberly Ann Salone.
All right. And you had a relationship with her when?
I was just, what was that? I believe I was 20, like late 2018.
Okay. And how old were you at that time?
I believe I was either 18 or 7, just turning into 18, from 17 to 18,
All right.
somewhere like
And she became pregnant.
that. Yes, I do not recall the exact date and time. But yeah.
All right. And then Jalen was born.
Yes.
And then what
I
happened go ahead.
I was working at with SiriusXM when I found out that she was born.
All right. Where were you working at Sirius?
Yeah, SiriusXM was over in CDA, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Okay. And then where was she? Where was the mother?
She was in either Coos Bay area, I do believe.
Okay. And then go ahead. What happened after that?
Well, there was a court case and everything like that, since there was DHS being stepped in and everything. Yeah.
Did they step in pretty much right at the birth of Jalen?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
because she has a total of 5 kids plus mine, which is 6, and she doesn't have any custody of any of them.
All right.
believe.
So the state of Oregon got a hold of you,
Yes.
and what happened? What'd you do?
Well, I went and fought through full court, and
Okay.
court was going. We were doing court and everything. The CPS people from Oregon were doing investigation and everything like that. Kept, they called me, kept me informed of what was going on. So I kind of knew what was kind of going on, but not all of, not all of the way besides what was happening in that court.
All right. And so ultimately, what happened with Jalen?
Roughly when she was around 3 months is when I got a call from CPS because I would just got done with court that day. Right after court, CPS called me, told me to come down and get Jalen, because we found evidence of the biological mother, which is Kimberly Ann Salone, that she neglected the child, did not feed the child properly, wasn't, the formula proportions weren't right, and stuff like that.
Okay. So what did you do?
I came down, I went back into work, told my manager that I had to leave for a couple days, and went down and go grab Jalen.
Okay. So you got Jalen, and then what did you do with her?
I stayed at my grandparents for a couple days, so that way they could see Jalen and we would be able to have a loving family to be around and everything.
All right.
After those couple days, I went back over to Washington in Spokane
Okay.
area.
So there's been allegations that you don't change diapers, you don't keep her clean, that type of thing.
So I tried my best to take care of Jalen, which is with changing diapers. Not every single parent um will, to me, it just seems like a single parent with having to have all the responsibilities as two parents is kind of hard, so it does have its ups and downs, but I've tried my best to take care of Jalen.
All right. And so you said you stayed a couple of days in Toledo, Oregon, and then you went to, is it Eastern Washington or Idaho?
I was Spokane. I worked in Idaho.
Okay, so to Spokane, Eastern Washington, but you worked in Idaho, and that was for the Sirius XM?
Yes, and I believe I was working there for about a year and a half.
All right. So you stayed there with Jalen for how long?
Like I see. Not very great with dates, but I do believe I was up there for at least maybe 5, 6 months, maybe.
All right. And where did you live during that 5 or 6 months?
I lived with my mother over in Spokane, over on she was southeast. I think it was a southeast street. It
All
was
right.
up on south side.
Okay. And I think the allegation is from your father that your mother threw you out.
No, she never threw me out.
What happened?
Me, my mother and Caitlin, we all decided to leave together as one. She did not kick me out. She never kicked me out. We just all left as a group of one.
All right. So all three of you moved to where?
We moved over to Josh's, which is my mother's brother's place. And that was just over in it was just a little bit outside of Spokane.
You moved to outside of Spokane?
Yeah, it was still in Washington though.
Okay, so still in Washington. And how long were you there?
I was believe three or 4 months, I do believe, somewhere
Alright.
around that.
And what was going on between you and Jalen during this period of time?
I was teaching Jalen to walk, trying to help her get her balance steady, and everything like that. She had a walker that she can get into to help her move around the house and everything, where she learns to have the strength in her legs, so she can be able to start walking.
Okay.
And I
And
did
no-
find video proof on that too.
I'm sorry, what?
I did find video proof of that too,
All right.
her standing and everything and jumping.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you were still living with your mother, is that right?
Yeah, because my mother did tag along with us. Yes,
Okay. And who else? Who was the other person?
it would be me, my mother, and Caitlin Boone at the time, and
Okay.
Jalen.
So Caitlin Boone. All right. There is, okay. So how long were you there?
Like I said, I think I was there for 3 to 4 months, somewhere around that.
And then where did you go?
Well, there was an altercation of one of my cousin's boyfriend or fiance at the time or whatever was arguing about, because he wanted to use my car to go to work, and I told him no, because I needed it to use it to to take Caitlin to work at that time and to go pick up like diapers and stuff for Jalen.
Go ahead.
He got a little mad, started calling Caitlin names like the C word and everything. So I just told him to leave her alone, and that's not cool to call names. And I guess because Josh, my mother's brother, um, I guess they had a discussion or something about my cousin's fiance, and nothing was really taking into action about that. So we all just, me, my mother, and Caitlin, we all kind of just left.
Okay, where'd you go?
We went right back into Spokane.
Okay, how long were you there?
We were there for like I said like another maybe 4 months, maybe a little less.
So this is you, Caitlin, and your mother in the Spokane area.
Yes.
Where were you living?
We moved back up to the south end of the in Spokane on South Street over there on
Right.
I forgot the road and the name of the address, but it was up there on South Street, I think, over on South End.
And were you working at that time?
I wasn't working at that time. I was trying to put myself forward and tried to make sure that I was able to, because like I said, I was a single parent at the time, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to make a loving connection with Jalen, and be able to take care of her needs. I did get on WIC and food stamps at the time, plus I had medical too for her as well.
Okay. And all right. There was an allegation that there was a period of time that you weren't bathing at all. Was that in this residence, or am I getting that confused?
I do believe you're getting that confused, because I did take showers over there. It wasn't, so like I said, it wasn't every single day, but it was, like 2 days apart, in a way, of not wasting a lot of water to have the water bill to be skyrocketed up high.
Okay. Right. So how long were you there? And then where did you go?
Like I said, I think we were there for about maybe 4 to maybe a little less than 4 months. After that, we moved over to, we were going to be moving down. Me and Caitlin and Jalen, we were moving down to my grandma's, and my mother was going to move down closer to her parents. So that way was able to take care of her parents at the time,
Okay. So you moved in with who?
my grandma and grandpa.
You moved into
Jesus.
in Toledo, Oregon?
Yes.
Okay. And that was you and Caitlin
Yes. And Jalen.
and Jalen. All right. And how long were you there?
Oh, I'm not like I said, I'm not very great on dates. Um, and maybe 2. I you know, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. And then so where did you go from that point? Well, let me back up. Were you employed when you were living at your grandmother's house?
I did go work for Taco Bell.
Okay. And go ahead. So you worked at Taco Bell. Who was watching Jalen?
Since I and Kaylin, we had opposite shifts of each other. So Kaylin would have had the morning shift, and I would have taken the night shift. So during the day, I'd take Jalen to go play at the park that's just down the street. That's maybe 4-minute walk. There's a library across the park, where we go in and to go read books and played puzzles and everything at the with puzzles over there at the library in Toledo. Which the library is literally right above the park, right across from the pool. Um, you know, sometimes we'd walk around town just to go for a walk, just to get out of the house, just to,
And is that just
Mr.
you?
Anagnosio, I apologize. I'm gonna interrupt and I apologize. We're at about 4:40. We need to end at 4:45 and we kind of need to talk about next steps. So I'm gonna kind of insert my foot here and I apologize for that. So we're gonna end for today and I'm not sure what to do, frankly, because we were scheduled for 2 days. Plaintiff took the vast majority of that time frame. Mr. Anagnosio wasn't left with a lot of time, and yet it was scheduled for 2 days. I know one approach that some judges have taken is that if it's not done in the allotted time, then we just call it a scratch and reset and start all over. That's one option. That is an option. That is an option. It's not my preferred option. So I don't know what to do at this point other than we could set this case for a universal readiness or trial setting docket and see if we can find additional time in the near future. That would be my suggestion.
Your Honor, if I can, we already, the second time we've had the trial, because Dave Nelson heard it the first time and it was canceled. My clients have wiped out their entire retirement. I beg the court to allow us to finish and allow Mr. Anagnosio to finish with his client. I believe this is his last client, or sorry, last witness. I'm more than happy to be incredibly flexible. I will cancel any meeting I have so that we can get this done. I'm guessing Mr. Anagnosio feels the same way.
I do,
yeah. Well, as I
and-
indicated, my preferred is that we set it to a universal trial set so we can find some days or a day to finish this.
And my question of Your Honor is, do you judges have, because I'm thinking we need a half day. it shouldn't be any more than a half day. I could finish up with my client, then there's cross-examination, and then I think we're pretty much done. I don't know if you have any control over your calendar or know if you have a half day in the next week or so that we could impose upon.
One second.
And I'm not even sure we need a half day. How much time do you think you need? Because I will limit my cross just to get this.
I probably maybe a half hour or 45 minutes. I mean, I got to look at my notes
And I will limit mine to 20 minutes.
So we're looking at an hour.
So next week is a short week. Monday, no one's here. I have a family law docket. Monday morning, I have a mental health court docket all afternoon. Wednesday morning, I have to work on a decision that has been pending for 37 days, 40 days. So I'm not going to put it on Wednesday morning. I have mental health court after all afternoon on Wednesday. Thursday, I have a half day fact finding, and then I'm off for a judicial Commission on Judicial Conduct training and meeting. I'm not here on Friday. That's as far as I know in advance.
Right.
So it's somewhat limited. So that's why I think I'm encouraging the parties to set this to a universal trial set docket so we can find a time in the future where we can finish things up, because I am sensitive to the fact that the parties, that sounds like it went forward and then here we are again doing a redo, and a third redo probably try to avoid.
And my apologies for taking too much time. I am working on that. Do we agree that probably 2 hours at most? Should I set for, because I don't mind setting for 2 hours, or do you think just an hour?
Well, I guess I would defer to the parties at the trial setting. I think, right now, I think when we get to that trial setting docket, you all may have a better idea of kind of look where we've been and where you need to go or where you want to go. And a half hour may seem good now, but it may be more appropriate for an hour. I'm not sure, just because you can look at the case and make your determination. So maybe we could look at setting it to a trial set docket for on the 6th of September. I think it's at 1:30.
Can we do that from this court, or do we need to do a docket notice?
I think we can just set it for now and just set it for that Wednesday at the September 6th at 1 p.m.
And Your Honor, I'd ask that Sherry Farr be allowed to, I think we're both done with her testimony, and I know, I'm not sure if the court or the county is going to be charged, but just in the interest of saving the county money, I'd ask that she be missed from having to be at that hearing.
Ms. Farr, do you have any input on that?
That's fine with me. I have a really busy schedule, so I'm happy to be just discharged at this point.
Okay, Mr. Anagnostou.
No, that's fine with me. The question I had was are we going to be on the universal trial assignment docket
Correct.
on the 6th? And I thought that was at 11:30. Is that at 1?
Yeah, readiness, I think, is at 11:30, and
that's
at 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So two things,
Wednesday.
just with Ms. Farr, as far as the trial set docket, feel free to not be there, do other things. As far as there is mention of a discharge of the guardian ad litem, Ms. Winkles, did you have any input on that?
I will prepare the orders, because it just makes getting a trial setting easier as well for us, because there's only 2 of us that need to be there.
And Ms. Farr, do you have any input on that discharge?
That's fine with me. It sounds like, another hour of testimony and then you'll make a decision, and I don't see that I need to give any more input.
Okay. If the parties are agreed and Ms. Farr is in agreement also with the discharge, I'll sign that upon presentation. And yes, Mr. Ludwig.
Just a quick question. Are these the weekend schedule, everything with the weekends and everything, and the video calls? Is that going to be all the same?
I have zero rulings impacting that. So whatever existing orders are in place, those would continue.
Okay,
And
just wanted to be sure.
And I believe the order, I don't think we need to discuss that, but I believe the order is until trial. So I'm guessing we're still in trial.
Trial has not concluded. Yeah. Okay. So with that said, September 6th, 1 p.m. trial set docket. Any other comments or issues to address before we break?
Would it be possible, just in the interest of time, where I just do a quick motion to your honor? And Mr. Anagnosto can decide to sign it off just on the evidence. I was just going to run through the exhibits and ask them to be, certain ones to be entered into the court. I didn't do that. I don't want to take more time on the record. If we can come up with an agreement, can we just present it to your honor about which of my exhibits and his exhibits we actually admit into the record?
I think as a general rule, if parties want to agree to something and present it to the court for review, that's rarely discouraged.
Okay.
So we'll pause on the proceedings. I appreciate everybody's efforts. Thanks for being flexible with the schedule and the like. We will be adjourned. We'll find out when we come back on September 6th, which is Wednesday at 1 p.m. We'll set a date and time.
All right. Thank you, your honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thanks
Thank
all. Okay, I'll go ahead and end the call now. Thank you.
This case continues in Part 7, where we'll cover the rest of Dad's direct testimony and his cross-examination. You don't want to miss it.